Welcome to the Introduction to Smart Notebook from TuneUp Tuesday. Accompanying this video will also be several things that you can download. One is the download of this file, which you'll want before you get started. So please make sure you go to the accompanying materials and download the file from today, because we're going to be manipulating it. Great. Once you have that file, let's take a look at some of the things we're going to look at in here. First of all, my name is Terry Politi, so after this, if you need to get a hold of me, my email is terrypoliti@smarttech.com. Our purpose today is to learn about Smart Notebook and to really come away with a deeper understanding of how you can use it. In the next session, we'll also look at how to connect Notebook with SLSO. So everything that you build in Notebook will be able to push into the online version of this. But we're going to let you walk away with things that you'll be able to use. What is Smart Notebook? Smart Notebook is the software that you can install on your Mac or PC and be able to create some interactivity. You'll also be able to connect your computer to your smart board in school and be able to write on the Notebook software. Plus, it also connects very easily with Smart Learning Suite Online, which then you can use with students and connect through their Chromebooks. The very first thing you need to know about Smart Notebook is that you need to make sure you're signed in. So I'm in my account. I go to the Word account and I hit sign in. You'll notice mine's grayed out because I'm already logged in. But the step-by-step here says once you click sign in, you're going to sign in with your Google. You're going to sign in using your school district account. And then your Notebook software is registered. So it will be licensed and good to go. You'll need no license number. Today we're going to look at the different tools along here. The action panel, that's this first part here. Then we'll take a look at some add-ons here. And then we'll take a look at the tool panel. You'll notice I have nothing with the conceptual panel yet because it depends on what you click on. So if I click on shapes, then my conceptual panel comes out. So you'll be able to see different things depending on what you're clicked on. Okay? Actions, add-ons, and tools automatically are there, but the conceptual panel does not come up till you click on a specific panel. All right, the ones that we have encircled are the ones that we're actually going to take a look at today. So just take a note, there'll be a lot of tools that we will not get to today, but we will take a look at the tools that are already highlighted there with a red square. All right, let's begin then. So the very first thing we talked about is we want to take a look at this picture and what did they learn? What do you think we're going to learn about today? So this strategy is called part of the picture. And so what it does is get the kids kind of looking at an image and kind of thinking. So if I were teaching online, I would simply have them share in the chat what they think they're looking at and why. Once we get some of those answers, then we can really start springboarding from where we go. Okay? You may also want to use the shade for this. So there's a shade tool built in. Let me click on the shade. I can change the color of the shade. All right. And then as I want to reveal for the class, we're going to look at a picture. And then I want you to tell me about what you think we're going to learn. Is everybody ready for the picture? And I show the picture. And then I tell them, share it in the chat. You can move this left or right, up or down. That is the screen shade. All right, we want to look at how we built that. So let me move forward some pages. So all it was an image. Let's look for images first. So you have tools on the left side, all different things. There's a puzzle piece here and a puzzle piece here. They're not the same, just so you know. I'm going to click on the puzzle piece on my side tab, and I want to go to image search. So I am going to look for the butterfly. Let's find a picture of the butterfly. Now that's the whole butterfly. So if I want to zoom in and take a picture, notice when I click on any image, I'll get the rotate button, I'll get the resize button over here, and then what can I do with those pictures? All right, I'm just zooming in, didn't mean to duplicate that. I'm going to take a screenshot just of a portion of it that I want to share with the kids. So I can use Command-Shift-4 if I'm on a Mac, but if I'm already inside a notebook, I am going to use the screen capture. So it brings up a floating toolbar. I am going to grab just a part of it, and I want to grab this piece right here. It's going to ask me what I want to do with it. Notice I said send to the same page, and there it is. Now let me get rid of this one because I don't need it anymore. And let me add this picture. All right. Now, if I don't want it to move, or if I'm going to share this with the kids online, you can lock it so that it doesn't move. All right, the next thing I want to do is add text. So I grab the A tool, which is the text tool, and you can preset some different things here, but I'm going to use this one, Comic Sans. 36 is a little bit too big. Let me come in here. What do you think? You get it. You can add text. Now the same thing, I am going to center that text. Again, if I want to lock it, I can. And now let me get rid of that. And now I'm good to go with my picture. The only thing I need is my screen shape. So I come up here and grab a screen shape. Remember, if I click inside the screen shade, I can change the colors if I want to. All right, so now you're going to build that. So I'd like you to pause the video, add an image, use your screen capture tool to grab part of the image, and then add some text. If you need to rewind the video, please do so, and you'll be able to see how to do that. So pause the video now so that you can create your page. Great, I hope everybody was successful in that. On the next page, it will actually leave you with some different things. One is how to find that screen capture tool. One is talking about the text tool. And it also gives you some ideas to try. So just know that those are built into the file that you are working on. It also will give you anything that we're talking about, including screen shade. By the way, we've been using the screen shade built inside of Notebook, okay? But you can also use the screen shade built inside the software. So on the Mac, in the top right-hand corner, once you've installed the software, you should have what looks like a white and blue bullseye. Inside of there are different things you can launch. One of them is the screen capture or screen shade. Notice this screen shade takes up the entire page. So if I had the internet underneath of it, I could be hiding the internet too. All right, let's keep moving on. This finally is the screen capture tool. That's what I just used for you. So you'll have a reminder of how to use that tool. How might you use that tool? I might grab something from my curriculum. So this is math curriculum. I grabbed a screenshot of it, brought it into Notebook, and now I can move this circle around on top of my picture. How did I do that? I took a screen capture, brought it in, and just added a circle on top of that. The circle tool is fairly easy to use. Click on your shape tool, grab the circle tool. I'm going to just make it on the outside for a minute. Now, the biggest thing you have to remember is when I'm done with the circle tool, change it back to the selector tool or else you'll keep making circles. So I'm going to click it back on my selector tool. I'm going to click on that. Let's suppose I want to make it red. And I can make it a little thicker if I want to. And now I have something to pull. So that's how you can use the screen capture tool with some of the online curriculum you already have and add things on top of it. All right. The next thing we want to look at is we want to look at how to make a graphic organizer. Now you can bring organizers in and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But this is one I made. If you'll take a look, you'll notice this is all locked. None of this stuff can move. However, the words can all move. So if I'm talking about butterflies and the kids are dragging them in the order they come, they then would have a graphic organizer. So this is where, connecting it with SLSO, every kid could have a copy of the graphic organizer. All right, first thing we're going to do is take a look at how to build these. By the way, look at these words. They're locked, but they're allowed to move. Okay, this is locked. I can't, oops, I didn't lock it right. Lock, lock in place. Now this cannot move. That's what we want. So let's take a look at how to build this. All right, we needed a rectangle. So watch quickly, and then you're going to build your own. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool. Now for me, I'm going to cheat. Once I have one, I'm going to duplicate that 4 times. So you have all these choices in here. I'm going to clone, clone again, and clone again. So now I have the 4 boxes that I need, and I know they're all the same size. All right, now I need the arrows in between. So let me grab my arrow tool. You can also set the thickness ahead of time if you'd like to. So I want it a little thicker than normal. I want the arrow to be at the end. Notice I can make it dotted or dashed, but I'm going to stick with it there. There's my first one. I'll go back and get rid of that. Let me drag a second one and a third one and come back up here. Now I've got the one I don't need, so let me grab the selector tool and delete this. Now, one of the things you can do is I'm on my selector tool. I can highlight everything, and from any drop-down menu, I can group it into one item. Now as I move it around the page, it moves together. Now I've got it where I want it. I'm going to lock it in place. So it is now locked in place. Now I need those words. So let's do butterfly. You get the idea. Now with the words, I am going to click back on here and I am going to click lock but allow to move. What that means is the kids can't accidentally resize it once it goes into SLSO, so it will stay that same size for forever. Some of the other things you may want to do with lock and allow to move may be if you put a picture of a ruler on here and you want them to be able to measure items, you want them to be able to move that item, to move it to the different items, but make sure that it stays the correct size. So there are 4 different types of locking, just so you know. Allow vertical, horizontal, move, rotate, and then just plain move. Plus there's lock in place. But those are the ideas to kind of give you some. So that's how you can build a graphic organizer. Now once I've built the graphic organizer, let me look at my slide sorter. I'm going to call it something like Caterpillar. I can add it permanently to my software. So you can click on the down arrow and say add to gallery. And if I search for hands-on, because that's what I've titled it, it's down, it's small, but that's what I'll be able to find. So let me add page to gallery. And then the gallery is the second tab down. Let me look on hands-on. And what comes up is that page I just created. So that's part of my software now. So if you create a graphic organizer that you use quite frequently, you can continue to save it to your gallery. That way you can find it when you open up any file. All right, let me pause the video right there. I would like you to go in and create a graphic organizer. Make sure you include some shapes and perhaps some words, and make sure that you've locked things down that you don't want kids to move, and that if you do want it to move but not be resized, lock and allow to move. Pause the video now, please. Great, I hope you were successful in creating your own graphic organizer. Now let's suppose I have a graphic organizer that I want to use that I know is part of my curriculum. You have a couple of things you can do. First, let's add a new page. I'm going to go up here to the plus sign. Let's add a blank page. Now, I can always insert a picture, meaning I can grab a picture from anywhere, put it in here if I had a picture of a graphic organizer I want to use. So let's pull up graphic organizers. Find some images that I like. Oh, this is a good one to use for today. All right, all I'm going to do is take a picture of that with my Command Shift 4, or depending on what the graphic organizer is, I may also want to Control click and save image as. Let me put it onto my desktop. Sequence cycle, perfect. All right, I've saved it. Now let me go back to my notebook. I am going to insert the picture that I just took, and there it is inside of my notebook software. Now, what I would do is I would lock it so that when I'm writing on top of it or the kids are writing on top of it, it doesn't move. And if I'm going to use this quite regularly, I'm also going to come over here to the first tab, title it. Let's title it Cycle of Events. And now it's part of my software. So if I open up a new version, come down to my gallery and type on Cycle of Events, might have typed that wrong. But anyway, you get the idea of searching, saving, and being able to refine. You could add words on top of it if you want to. If you have a PDF, you could just drag it into the software and it would be on the page. So you have lots of options inside of Smart Notebook. All right, let's continue. I have left you here with some different things. Just to give you some idea, we're going to take a look at a couple other tools in here for mathematics. So I'll come back to this slide. But what we want to take a look at is the games right now. And if you've made stuff in SLSO, this should look fairly familiar to you. So a cockroach, incomplete metamorphosis. Okay. A housefly, no, it's complete. You get the idea. It's a quick little sorting game, and you could be able to hand one to the kids. Now, the difference between this and Smart Learning Suite is inside of here, I can save the stuff I've typed in here. So there is a save button up here. So it will save my list. And then if I'm playing some other game or want to use them again next year or in something else, I can upload those lists because they'll be there. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, but realize those are save buttons. You can also upload pictures because there is the ability to upload a picture here. The pictures at this point in time must be on your computer. You must know where they are. You could screen capture them, bring them in. That's a picture of square root of 2. You can also bring in pictures. Then, when I'm all done, I hit next, pick my background. Let's pick pirate this time and hit finish. Same game, same words, same categories, but this time it is with a different theme. Got it right, was able to shoot it to the other side. Let's do the housefly, got it right. Good. You get the idea of how this all works. One more. Oh, that was wrong. Notice it shoots back. All right, we want to build one of these games. So, to create a super sort, you are going to find your monster. Sorry, I was looking at things. I'm going to find my monster, which is the activities button. Go down till I can find super sort. Now, because I saved those lists, I can always bring them back up and load them again. If you have nothing loaded, you can always start from scratch and type in lists. You do not need to save them if you don't want to, but if you're going to go back and use them in other things, you might want to save them. Hit next, pick your background, and hit finish. And there is your game. That is how you create a super sort. So please pause the video now find your monster or activities, click it, go down to Super Sort, and create one of your own. Pause the video now. Great, I hope you had fun creating that game. Your kids will definitely have fun playing those games. All right. Now, the Super Sorts, all these games are made for individual experience, meaning it's made for the kids to practice. It's not made for you to see what the kids did. It's their practice. So it kind of gives you some ideas here on this page. It's part of your file. All right, now we want to take a look at a little bit of math. All right, there are some math tools built in. Let me add a blank page. Some of the easy math tools are found in this add-ons button, this puzzle piece up top. Remember, those are two different puzzle pieces. Let me click on this one. Let me click on the insert equation. This is the one I'm going to use if I'm sitting at my computer typing. So perhaps I want y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Insert the equation. Now I have the equation there to be able to use like any other text or image. If I'm actually at my board or I'm good at writing with the trackpad, the other equation editor is for writing. You'll get what looks like a piece of graph paper, and now I can write on it, and it will interpret what I'm writing. Y equals 3/4 x minus 7. If you like what it says, click on the green and it will import it in. So you can use either one, but both are equation editors. Another thing you can do with inside of here mathematically is grab a regular shape. So I'm going to grab the rectangle first. Okay. Go back to your selector tool, select once on the image, and notice in the drop-down menu, I have some different choices here. And one of them says show or hide vertices. So it shows me where they are. Another might be measure the sides. So now we're talking about it being a rectangle. Ooh, except for in order to be sure it's a rectangle, I need to make sure about what the angle measures are. Oh, look, they're all 90-degree angles, so it is a rectangle. Finally, divide shape. I am going to show the fraction, and I am going to divide it into 5 equal parts, and click OK. You'll notice each part is labeled a fifth. You'll also notice that if I grab it, I should be able to move it into each piece. So there is 1/5 of our original rectangle. You can do that with any regular shape. So if I do the same thing with a circle, click on it, divide it into shapes. Let's divide this into thirds. And then I can also color these into different things. So let me color it yellow. Look, 1/3 of the circle is yellow, etc., etc. So those are some of the mathematical tools that you will be able to use inside of Smart Notebook. The final one I want to show you is on the add-ons tab on the left. You will have what is called GeoGebra. Let's insert the widget. There's lots you can do with this. Let me just write an equation here. Y equals 2x. Notice it graphed it, it also typed it in the line here. GeoGebra is a very powerful piece of software. If you want to look on YouTube for stuff under GeoGebra, you will find a ton of things in there. All right. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video, put in an equation or two, try cutting a shape in half, and or try GeoGebra, and then come back when you're done. Great, I've also left all of the steps inside of here in this file for you if you need them. And then we are glad that you came. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I will be glad to answer them. I hope you enjoyed this intro to Notebook.